Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We are coming to you live from Vernon Township High School for this afternoon's boys basketball contest featuring the host Vernon Vikings coming in with a record of 7-5 on the season, 4-2 in the Freedom Division, hosting the Parsippany Hills Vikings coming in led by head coach Mike Herzenberg, 10-4 on the season, 4-2 in the NJAC Liberty Division, coming in off a win against Pequannock Thursday, 78-70. Vernon, they're also coming in off a win at Lenape Valley, 61-36 on Thursday with the season sweep over the Patriots. I'm going to bring in my partner now, Brian Thomas. Brian, good afternoon. Should be a fantastic game. We spoke to both coaches, Mike Herzenberg of Parsippany Hills and Connor Healy of the Vikings. Both have very positive things to say about their team, and both expect to see a pretty good competitive basketball game this afternoon.
Without a doubt, Jordan, good to be with you, and I want to first thank both Parsippany Hills and Vernon for sponsoring this game this afternoon. This is going to be an excellent game. You got two teams that have some high-powered offenses. You got Par Hills that likes to run and gun. They like to kind of get you up in a very up-tempo pace. They got a lot of excellent athletes that play multiple sports. So I'm looking for big things from them this afternoon. Then you got the Vernon Vikings, who got off to a choppy start this season for various reasons, but they're really starting to find their stride now, and they've got a number of different players that are really coming into their own. And these are two, they're very mirror image type teams tonight. They both want to get up and down the floor. They both want to, they can both shoot the ball like crazy, and they're going to be able to defend as well. So I'm expecting a very tight game, but also a highly entertaining one as well.
Exactly, Brian. Both teams, they both like to go up and down the floor. Both teams like to score. Vernon, this is a team that won 22-4 a year ago. They're 7-5. They got off to a slow start. Connor Healy, though, he likes what he sees from his team, expects to see improvement, and this team really just seems to be getting in stride. And he sees a lot of a mirror image of his team in the Vikings, speaking before the game.
Without a doubt, and I think we're going to break for the anthem, and we'll come right back.
And we're back here at Vernon Township High School getting ready for the opening tip of this afternoon's contest between the Vernon Vikings and the Parsippany Hills Vikings. Let's go through the starting lineups with you. We're going to start with the host Vikings, starting off with number 1, senior guard Demir Morph Chess, along with guard sophomore number 2 Dylan Haycoop, number 3 Adrian Karwoski, the junior, and junior guard number 11 Alex Fessel. We'll expect to see a lot of him today. He's coming off a 22-point outing against the Lenape Valley Patriots the other day in their latest contest. And number 20, Ben Jurwitz, the forward senior, coming off a 13-rebound performance against the Lenape Valley Patriots. As we get ready for the opening tip here, let's run through the Parsippany Hills Vikings. It'll be number 1, Nick Vico, the guard sophomore, and number 5, Braylon Moore, the senior, as the opening tap is won by the Vikings. Number 11, Julio Tatis, senior guard. Number 13, Joey Cicatelli, and number 22, Simeon Washington. And the Vernon Vikings here on the opening possession. It's Karwoski. Good ball movement. Hitting the three, Alex Fessel. And Brian, we talked about it pregame, you and I. We expect to see a lot of Mr. Fessel this afternoon.
Yeah, certainly no surprise there, knocking down the first three of the game. He's got 26 threes on the year, and he actually missed a couple of games. But you're going to see a lot from Alex on both ends of the floor today. He's an excellent offensive weapon. He's got great vision, but his defense is also elite. As you can see right here, he's got super quick hands. So someone to watch here today for sure, Alex Fessel.
Tatis working on his counterpart, number 11, Fessel. Driving the lane is Cicatelli, and we got a jump ball underneath as he drives the lane, and he'll stay here with Parsippany Hills.
And both teams are going to play a lot of man-to-man half court, but you're also going to see certainly at least a little bit from both teams at a full court press, whether it's a man-to-man or a zone trapping press. So be on the lookout for that. Let's see if Par Hills comes with it right away, and it looks like they do.
Nick Vico able to pick up the loose ball and put it back in for two, and it's now a 3-2 game. First bucket of the afternoon for Par Hills. Nice cross-court find. Karwoski dribble drive, can't get it to go. Rebound by Cicatelli. Cicatelli all the way to the basket, can't get it to fall. Rebound by the Vikings.
As you can see, both teams are not opposed to pushing the pace and trying to get some easy buckets. Talking to Coach Herzenberg before the game, and he called his style of play this year controlled chaos. So they look to get up and down. He said that's where his players are most comfortable doing. He said sometimes it feels like it's out of control, but that's right in their wheelhouse.
Pull up pop. Washington got it from the wing, and it's 5-3 Par Hills early on in this one.
And Par Hills can really shoot it. Vernon's got to do a great job of closing out completely on three-point shooters.
And there's that press. Coach Herzenberg talked to us about pregame, forcing a turnover there, unable to get the basket to go. We have a whistle and a foul in the backcourt here. And it'll be against Par Hills, and it'll be Vernon ball underneath coming up.
Coach Healy imploring his guys to be strong with the basketball, make good decisions, make good passes. Otherwise, it's going to be a turnover city here today.
They break the press this time, and this is Vico finishing with the right hand off the glass.
Nice job by Demir finishing right in the lane. Vernon not going into their press right now, but Demir is excellent, slashing to the basket and finishing right at the rim.
Pardon me, that was Demir Morph chest, yes. Tied at 5.5 minutes remaining here in the opening quarter. This is Moore off the back iron, rebound by Tatis. Tatis can't get it to go, rebound by Morph Chess. Picked up the loose ball is Cicatelli, and he finishes with the left hand off the glass. And it's 7-5, Par Hills early.
One thing you're not going to see a lot today, Jordan, is a lot of 40, 45-second possessions. These teams are looking to score quickly.
Yeah, it's going to be an up and down kind of game. Vernon able to break the press here. Par Hills has caused some early problems here with their pressure in the backcourt, this full court press, but Vernon able to break it this time. Fessel for three, off the mark. Rebound by Cicatelli. Vico kicks it out. This is Tatis, can't get it to go. Rebound by Alex Fessel.
Tatis, one of the 4-year starters for Coach Herzenberg, along with Simeon Washington. So they've been through the ringer, and they've got excellent senior leadership and tons of game experience.
Lots of experience for this Par Hills team. And a turnover here by the Vikings, and it'll go back to Parsippany Hills. 7-5 our score, 4:25 remaining in the opening quarter. This is Tatis bringing it up here for Parsippany Hills. Parsippany Hills coming in on a 2-game winning streak, defeating Pequannock Thursday, also defeating Parsippany. And we have a turnover here in travel, and it'll be going back up to Vernon.
Nice job by Hay Cooper playing on the ball defense. That's going to be such a huge key tonight, because these teams, or this afternoon I should say, both of these teams will shoot the ball well, but they also want to attack the basket and get into the lane for a little bit of drive and kick. So keeping the ball in front of them is going to be really, really important.
There's another loose ball. Vernon able to keep the possession, though. And this is Morph Chesso bringing out a reset.
Par Hills in a zone right now.
Fessel.
I think they're both going to give each other a number of different looks.
Boy, this Parsippany Hills defense is just creating havoc so far early for Vernon, and they get another turnover and go back up here to Parsippany Hills.
Well, they've got a lot of athletes, and they do a good job of getting into the passing lanes. It's funny because we're just saying that about the Vernon Vikings as well. So two very similar teams with very similar styles. If you notice, Vernon is looking to switch everything. So let's see how effective these screens will be for Par Hills.
Going to have to communicate on that switch, and unable to get it to go is Tatis. Rebound here by Vernon. Outlet pass up ahead to Fessel, and he gets it to go. And we're tied at 7 with 3:15 remaining in the opening quarter. And this is Washington bringing it up.
Nice job by Jurowitz of finding Fessel on the run, on the outlet, right away for the easy deuce.
It's going to be a lot of up and down tempo. Brian, we talked about it. Unable to get that to go is Washington, but the putback is good. And it's a 9-7 Par Hills lead.
The one thing, Jordan, that Par Hills doesn't have a lot of is size, but it hasn't affected them so far because they're so quick, as you can see here. Yeah, they've already gotten a handful of offensive rebounds and converted those to baskets. So Vernon's got to make sure that they're finding bodies.
And we have a whistle and a timeout on the floor, and I believe it's going to be called to Vernon. It'll be a quick 30-second timeout called by Coach Connor Healy, who's in his 5th season with the Vernon Vikings, coming off a 22-4 season last year. This team's 7-5 currently, and Brian, we mentioned both teams like to score the points. Vernon, 60 points seems to be the magic number for this Vernon Vikings team. 4-0 when they hit that 60-plus point plateau. So we'll see if they can, if the Vernon Vikings can get their offense going this afternoon. We expect a lot of points. And for Parsippany Hills, they come in led by head coach Mike Herzenberg in his 10th season. Mike went to FDU. This team currently 10-4, 11-14 they finished the season ago. They've already one win away from matching their win total from a year ago. Are the Parsippany Hills Vikings, and this is Tessel with it here for Vernon coming out of the timeout.
And both coaches, Jordan, you just talked about both of them, had excellent high school basketball careers. Coach Herzenberg, a Sussex County boy from Newton, and had a great career at Newton High School for Dirk Kelly. And, of course, Connor Healy playing up at West Milford, an excellent career up there as well.
Nice find to Morph Chess, and he gets the roll and to tie this game at 9.
And Demir's had a nice offensive season so far this year. He's averaging just under 13 a game, and he's such a huge key for them to make sure that they're still getting buckets.
He had 11 against Lenape the other night, a season high of 22. Corner 3 off the top of the backboard and out, and it's going back up to Vernon.
Par Hill's going to continue to stay in their zone trapping press, and that middle tends to be the area that's going to be open for Vernon.
Substitution here. It's going to be number 10, I believe, checking in for Parsippany Hills. Jasad Lattimore checking in. And here is Washington with it, another loose ball. And this is Lattimore able to corral it. Gets it to Cicatelli. Cicatelli working on Fessel here. Off the Lattimore screen, gives it back to him, and he'll go to the line to shoot a pair.
Nice job by Lattimore of coming into the game and creating an impact immediately, rolling hard to the basket.
So Jasad Lattimore, the senior, he'll go to the line for a pair. Had 4 rebounds in this team's last outing against McQuonic on Thursday. And Lattimore hits the first. And Lattimore hits 1 of 2. Rebound by Morph Chess. He's going to take it all the way. Oh, a nice move with the right hand. Gets it to go.
He's got that ability, Jordan, to take it coast to coast without having to give it up after a rebound.
Washington trying to answer on the other end. Can't do it. Rebounded by Jurowitz. Corner 3. No good. Rebound. Put back. Jurowitz got it.
Ben on the offensive glass is such a huge component for the Vernon Vikings. I talked with him a little bit before the game, and he was excited to put up some big rebounding numbers today. He's off to a great start.
This is Cicatelli. Gives it up. Washington drives baseline. Tries to finish the up and under, but can't get it to go. Draws the contact, and he'll head to the line for a pair. And I believe they're going to get Ben Jurowitz, the senior, with the foul. So it'll be Simeon Washington, the senior, heading to the line for a pair.
And that's the one thing. That's kind of the Achilles heel if Vernon Vikings, if they do have one, it would be they really can't get into foul trouble. They don't play a lot of guys, so they want those first 5 or 6 on the floor as much as humanly possible. So if they do end up getting into foul trouble, it definitely hurts them. So they got to make sure that they're being smart as well as being aggressive.
Connor Healy going to the bench early, and hitting 1 of 2 is Simeon Washington. Michael Picaro checking in here for the Vikings, checking in for number 20 Jurowitz after he picks up the personal. Here comes Vernon. Nice find underneath. Can't get it to go, though. Pull up, pop, no good. Tip back out. Fessel able to make a play, and it's Amajian coming back out for Vernon here. They get it to Morph Chess, but he walked.
Nice idea. Demir cutting right down the middle. Dylan Haycoop found him, just shuffled those feet a little too quickly.
So it'll be Par Hill's possession here with 30 seconds remaining in the opening quarter. 13-11, Vernon lead.
Let's see if they hold for one. Based on the tempo of the game, I would say no, but it looks like Coach Herzenberg is looking to make sure let's make sure we get a great shot.
Tatis tries to finish with the right hand, can't get it to go. It's Morph Chess here with the rebound. They have numbers, do the Vikings, down to 10. They wanted a walk, they don't get it. This is Fessel. Fessel working, creating space, can't get it to go, and that will end the first quarter. An exciting one after first 8 minutes of play. 13-11. The score after 1 quarter. Vernon with the lead. We'll step aside. We'll come back. Second quarter action coming up next from Vernon Township High School right after this. Jordan Catelli with you here next to Brian Thomas, courtside at Vernon Township High School. Start of the second quarter, 13-11 our score. The Vernon Vikings lead, and they'll have possession to start the second period. Alex Fessel to inbound. Dylan Haycoop, and Ben Jurowitz. Aiden Karowski and Morph Chess, the 5 on the floor for the Vernon Vikings.
Jordan, quick thank you to both Par Hills and to Vernon for sponsoring this game this afternoon. We're excited to be here. This is a great atmosphere, and this is exactly what we expected so far after this first quarter.
Great tempo, great pace of play, exactly what both coaches expected, and we have taking an extra step there is Alex Fessel, and we're going back up to Parsippany Hills. And we spoke to Coach Herzenberg pregame, that little half-court, that full-court press, he's getting results. He's getting what he wanted. Didn't say exactly, it doesn't need to be a turnover every possession, but get in the passing lanes, disrupt the tempo of the offense. It'll be mission success. Long 3 put up by Barbero. Can't get it to go. Loose ball kept alive. Barbero will fire again. Can't get it to go. Rebound by Morph Chess. Pardon me. Moore with the shot. This is Morph Chess with it now for Vernon. Fessel using the Morph Chess screen to be picked up by Tatis.
They're trying to get Jurowitz down here in the post and clear out the weak side. Excellent job by Ben. Strong finish with a strong drop step. If he's able to do that and keep that ball high, Parsippany will be in trouble because he's got that length, but he's also got the strength to go with it.
15-11 Vernon lead. 6.5 remaining in the second quarter. They're going to try to work down inside. Tatis can't get it to go. And rebound by Moore, but he was quickly surrounded by 3 Vikings immediately as he came down with that possession.
We talked about this in the first quarter, Jordan, but Parsippany Hills is doing a great job offensive rebounding. I think they've got 5 or 6 already in spite of a little bit of a lack of size. So Vernon's got to do a much better job of finding bodies when that ball goes up, because the more second shots, they've capitalized on a couple with baskets right away, but they've also got to the free throw line a number of times, and that's really hurting Vernon and helping Par Hills.
Braylon Moore hits the first. The senior guard had 25 points, a season high Thursday against Pequannock. Comes in averaging just under 11 points per contest. Hits 1 of 2 from the line here. Rebounded by Jurowitz. And a cheap pickup foul in the backcourt here by Tatis.
Yeah, certainly not the one you want to give away. It may be a bit of a ticky-tack, but the ref's going to call that when you're reaching behind like that. You tell players all the time that even if it's not a foul, if it looks like a foul, the ref's probably going to call it anyways. You've got to keep that in mind at all times.
So Tatis picks up his first. This is Tessel, feeds it down inside to Jurowitz. Jurowitz, and they're going to call the steps before the contact came from Lattimore, and it's going to go back up to Parsippany Hills.
Nice job of Lattimore using his body. Jurowitz just moved that pivot foot just slightly.
Moore drives baseline against Karwoski, can't finish. Rebounded by Haycoop. Haycoop gives it up to Moore for chest. Nice cut there by Jurowitz. Corner 3, no good. Rebounded here by Tatis. And Tatis will look to push. Tatis again. Tried to feed it to Washington, but picked up here by the Vikings. Tessel keeps it in bounds. Pull up, pop 3. Karwoski got it.
A bit of a sloppy couple of possessions, and Coach Herzenberg wants to talk that over. Par Hills turned it over, and Vernon just about turned it over, and Alex Fessel was able to find his teammate for a wide open 3. So this is the pace, this is the intensity, this is exactly what we expected here. We expected, not necessarily a clean game, only because you're going to have a lot of intensity on defense, and you're going to have both teams that are going to be, whether it's half-court defense, they're going to be up in you, or that full-court defense like you were talking about is going to be causing problems. So we have seen our fair share of turnovers, but that's because of the defensive effort by both teams. So I do expect both teams will find a way to clean that up a little bit, because these turnovers are really hurting both teams at the moment.
6 points are, it's an 18-12 Vernon lead, the largest lead of the contest thus far. 5:25 remaining here in the second quarter. And Coach Herzenberg immediately called that timeout after that corner 3. And definitely just wants to slow down the tempo, just tell these guys, we're playing fine. Just want to hold on to the possession. Don't want to kill ourselves. Don't want to be our worst enemies.
Without a doubt. And folks, make sure you check out BrianThomasBasketball.com. We've actually got our spring AAU tryouts coming up in a couple of weeks in early February. We had close to 20 teams last year, so make sure you get in and register while you can so you can attend those tryouts. Check us out on Facebook and on Instagram. And again, check us out at BrianThomasBasketball.com.
So it'll be Par Hills ball here underneath. Julio Tatis to inbound. Paluziak gives it up here to Washington. And let's see, it's going to stay here. It's going to say last touch off Alex Fessel.
What I like is that Par Hills likes to mix up their offensive sets. They're not just running the same thing every time, giving Vernon some different looks on defense.
This is Moore to Lattimore. Lattimore can't hit. Rebounded by Fessel, but only briefly. And it's going to stay here. They're going to say Fessel's foot was on the end line, and it's going to stay with Par Hills.
Nice job by Washington after Alex grabbed that rebound of sneaking in behind him and creating that turnover.
Just a lot of good second chance opportunities here. Great hustle on both sides of the ball from both teams. This is Tatis. Can't get the roll. Rebounded by Vernon. Karwoski.
Tatis is doing a great job of getting into the lane He hasn't finished everything, but you figure that's only going to come with time. But he's so quick and strong and powerful, man. It's hard to keep him in front of you.
Haycoop picked up his dribble here. Nice shut down by Lattimore. Nice defense there. Morph Chess trying to feed it inside to Jurowitz.
Nice shot by Jurowitz on that double team of looking for that reverse skip pass.
They go back down to Jurowitz again. Morph Chess. Dribble drive. Back to Jurowitz. Has position. Gives it up. Can't finish. Is Haycoop. Rebounded by Lattimore. It's Tatis. Washington dribble drive. Gives it back to Lattimore. Getting a piece on the, is Karwoski on the way up, I believe. And it's Morph Chess here pushing for Vernon. And a blocking foul against Parsippany Hills. And Morph Chess will head to the line for 2, and I believe it's going to be charged to Julio Tatis, his second. Which
will be his second. I got to tell you, Jordan, I'm loving the energy of Ben Jurowitz on both sides of the basketball. So offensively, once he gets it, if he doesn't have a move, he's giving it up, but then he's not stopping. He's rolling to the basket, he's flashing across the lane, and he's making sure that that offense for Vernon keeps moving. And then defensively, he's doing a great job rebounding the basketball, not only blocking shots, Jordan, but also changing shots that he doesn't actually tip.
Joey Cicatelli and Andrew Hare checking in for Parsippany Hills.
So far, no press from Vernon. We'll see how the game plays out to see if that changes.
More Chess hits them both.
They're happy with their half-court man-to-man defense for now.
8-point lead for the Vernon Vikings. 3:50 to play before halftime. Julio Tatis finds Washington. He'll fire a 3. Can't get it to go. Rebounded by Karwoski.
Excellent play by Par Hills. Executed well. Just happened to miss the shot.
This is Haycoop. Haycoop gives it up to Jurowitz. Jurowitz drives, attracts 2 defenders, gives it up to Karwoski in the opposite corner, and he hits the 3. It's an 11-point Vernon lead.
Jordan, his second 3 of the day so far. He's been big, and once again, Jurowitz kicking out, skip pass opposite side for a wide-open 3.
Ben Jurowitz really being the straw that stirs the drink on this Vernon offense. Doing so much with the ball, gives it up here to Morph Chess. Outlet pass, too high to Haycoop. And it'll go back up to Parsippany Hills. And another timeout here called by Parsippany Hills. Coach Herzenberg going to take a timeout, settle his troops. A quick 30-second timeout. We'll keep it here. It's an 11-point contest, Brian. Big possession coming up here for Parsippany Hills.
Yeah, without a doubt. And that last one, it was almost like they were too wide open. You know, everything's been so hotly contested on both ends of the floor that, you know, they saw Demir Saul's teammates so wide open that he kind of had those saucer eyes, and just the adrenaline got him. But, you know, Vernon's doing a nice job in these last 3 or 4 minutes of pushing the pace and getting the shots they want. But then also when it comes down to half-court offense, they're moving the ball well. So this is a great stretch here for Vernon. And as you mentioned, an important couple of minutes here for Par Hills. The last thing that they want to do is go into halftime down, you know, 14, 15 points. If they can keep it single digits, get it to that 5 or 6 mark, I think they'll be very happy going into halftime, and then they can reload from there.
So it'll be Parsippany Hills ball, 3:09 remaining, second quarter, 23-12 our score. And this is Cicatelli with it, bringing it up. Gives it up to Tatis. Tatis working on Karwoski. And great defense by Aiden Karwoski, the junior.
And Jurowitz coming over to help as well. He's just really putting his stamp on this game on both sides. But man, Tatis is quick. It's so hard to keep him in front of you.
Washington tries to feed it underneath to Tatis, and I believe we're going to have a foul before the shot against Vernon. And I believe they got Fessel with it. Quick 3 off the inbounds, over the backboard and out. And it'll go back up to Vernon.
It looks like that's Fessel's 3rd, if the scoreboard is correct. So he's going to have to be ultra smart these last 2:49, because they cannot afford to have him with 4 fouls going into halftime.
He remains on the floor for the Vikings as of now, 2:40 remaining.
That's called trusting your point guard for Coach Healy.
Fessel gives it up to Jurowitz. Jurowitz attracts 2 defenders, can't get the shot to fall. Rebound by Tatis. Tatis guarded closely there by Fessel. He's got to be careful not to pick up his 4th. Tatis throws up an acrobatic shot, rebounded by Washington, and a foul underneath. And we'll stay here with Parsippany Hills. That foul goes against Jurowitz, his second. And Coach Healy's going to go to the bench here and bring in number 4. The junior number 4, Ryan Jamian.
Smart move getting Jurowitz out of the game. Certainly you don't want him with 3 as well, with only 2:15 left.
Tatis gives it up to Royal. Royal guarded closely by Tessel. Cicatelli drives, can't get it to go. And a foul here against Parsippany Hills. And Brian, Parsippany Hills, they just cannot get an uncontested shot. Great help defense by this Vernon team.
You're absolutely right. I mean, they're getting shots that they want, but man, there's a hand in the face every single time, and they're getting a lot of deflected shots and certainly a lot of contested shots.
As we approach, we hit the 2-minute mark here in this second quarter. 23-12, Vernon leads their largest lead of the contest. Morph chess.
Let's see if they slow this possession down and make sure they're getting a great shot. They're certainly in no rush.
Coop dribble drive, can't get it to go, but he draws the contact and he'll head to the line for a pair. And I believe it's going to go against Tatis. Or no, pardon me, it's going to go against Cicatelli, his first.
Nice job of Coop of attacking the basket and getting to the foul line. The more aggressive he is offensively, it really opens things up because you know what you're going to get from Fessel. You know what you're going to get from Jurowitz. You know what you're going to get from Morph Chess. And if he could be another guy that can, you know, add 8, 10, 12 points to a game, it makes them difficult to beat.
Coop goes 0 for 2 at the stripe, rebounded by Parsippany Hills. This is Washington. Cicatelli gives it back out to Royal. Royal can't hit the 3, and it's going to be going back up to Vernon. Last touch off Andrew Herr, the junior.
So this game is an independent game, Jordan, but it's a big game for both because, you know, you got the HWS seedings that are coming up, I believe, on Tuesday, and you got the Morris County tournament seedings that are coming up, I believe, on Monday. So an independent win, as Fessel misses the 3, would be against another really excellent team, would be huge to be able to argue your case for a higher seed in their respective county tournaments.
Vernon coming out of the NJAC Freedom division. Parsippany Hills coming out of the NJAC Liberty. Royal drives baseline. Jai Royal can't get it to finish.
Boy, they can't pry the lid off of that rim in this second quarter.
Oh boy, you aren't kidding. This is Karwoski, gives it up here to Fessel. Fessel dribble drive. Can't get it to go. Kicks it back out to keep the possession alive, and it's down to 40 and running. And Morph Chess will reset. And does Vernon hold for 1?
Probably not, but that's an excellent decision by Morph Chess to be patient, to bring that ball back out, to realize they didn't have much going on there, not to force anything.
Coop, he'll let this one fly halfway down and out. Rebounded by Tatis, down to 22 and running. So Parsippany Hills, you certainly figure they'll hold for the final possession here.
And boy, they need a bucket in the worst way on this possession.
Tatis can't get it to go. Rebounded by Vernon. Loose ball picked up here by Royal, and he draws the contact and the foul, and he'll head to the line for 2.
Got to give Par Hills just a ton of credit because we've seen this now, 3 or 4 times where Vernon got either a steal or a defensive rebound, but Par Hills doesn't just run back right away. They're going to stay there right in your face or maybe even try to come from behind and sneak a steal, and it's been effective for them so far.
This is Simeon Washington to the line. He hits the first. And it looks like Morph Chess will head to the bench, and Michael Pecoraro, the junior, will check back in for the final 7 seconds of the first half.
Plenty of time left to get a great shot. You're going to get the ball to Alex and let him work.
Fessel, nice behind the back move. Turnover here, Tatis. Can't get it to go.
Boy, Jordan, that's kind of a summary of that second quarter. Excellent defense being played by Par Hills, but there's just something on the top of that rim that they can't seem to rip off.
Brilliantly said, Brian. That last possession certainly encompasses the first half of this Parsippany Hills team, but they're down by 9. They got it to single digits, as we said. That would be the target for the Parsippany Hills Vikings at the half. So at the end of 2 quarters of play, it's 23-14. Vernon leads. We'll come back with the second half right after this here at Vernon Township High School. back here to Vernon Township High School. Brian Thomas, along with me courtside, I'm Jordan Catelli. Brian, get ready to start here the second half. 23-14, a 9-point Vernon Vikings lead. Brian, what do you expect to see in the second half compared to the first?
Well, first of all, we got to give a shout out to the DJ. We're Saturday afternoon here in Vernon. We got a little rush, we got a little journey happening here. So this is excellent. I love it. But yeah, that was that second quarter. The last really 5 minutes, Jordan, of that second quarter is when Vernon really established themselves. They hit some shots, but they defended the ball, the defense on the defensive side extremely well. But this is something that's abnormal for Par Hills, only 14 points in that first half.
Right.
And I do not expect that to continue because, as we spoke about, they did get a lot of good shots. Of course, you got that missed layup at the end, and they're going to convert those. The question is, do they have enough in the tank to eliminate the deficit that they are currently finding themselves in?
This is a Par Hill team that comes in averaging over 65 points per contest, only 14 points through the first half. Something to be said about this Vernon defense. Well done by Vernon. Quick open three by Braylon Moore, unable to get it to go, and it's just been the microcosm of this entire first half. Brian, just a lid on the basket for Parsippany Hills.
Yeah, and I think you got to give a shout out to Par Hills defense as well, because Vernon only 23 points. I mean, they're happy because they're up 9, but it's not like they scored 35, 40 points either.
Right. We both expected a track meet coming out expecting points. Well, don't listen to us, folks.
But it has been up and down.
Yes. And right there's a basket. Good for the Vikings. And the first 2 of the third quarter goes to Parsippany Hills. And this full court press, it's been causing problems. And right there, another pass break up there by Simeon Washington here for Parsippany Hills. We'll reset the floor for you here for the Vikings, as it's number 11, Alex Fessel here with possession. Ben Jurowitz, Dylan Haycoop, Adrian Karwoski, and Demir Morfchest, the starting 5 on the floor for the Vikings here. And getting it to go is Karwoski, or Haycoop, pardon me.
I think that was actually Alex Fessel on that one, Jordan. I think you were screened by the official.
Good call, Brian. Thank you. And 25-16, it's a 9-point advantage back here for Vernon. They'll feed it down inside to Tatis, and he gets the roll there.
If you're watching from home, you got to remember, we're not sitting up in the bleachers. We're down at half court, so sometimes you got the refs in the way. Sometimes you got some fans that walk in front. So if we happen to miss the exact player, that would be why.
Karwoski quickly doubled, and a turnover ripped away by Cicatelli. Quick outlet pass here. Tatis can't get it to go, but a foul before the putback. And Tatis, I believe, will head to the line for a pair. And I believe that foul is on Alex Fessel, his 4th, if the scoreboard reads correctly.
Yeah, I mean, I'm curious here now, Jordan, because they didn't take him out with 3 in the second quarter.
Fessel's having a word with Coach.
And they're not taking him out with 4 with 6 minutes to go in the third quarter. So I'm wondering if the scoreboard is incorrect, because I can't imagine that they would be leaving him in with 4 fouls left with this much time left in the game.
And another turnover here created by Parsippany Hills. They get it back to Moore. Moore gets it to go. And just like that, it's a 3-point contest. 6 minutes to play here in the third quarter.
And this is exactly the start that Par Hills wanted. They wanted to come out and exert themselves defensively again, and you knew their shots were eventually going to fall.
Fessel gives it up to Morchess. They break the press. Karwoski, triple teamed, tries to get it back to Morchess. Tatis gets in the passing lane and finishes on the other end, and a quick timeout called by Connor Healy. And it's a 25-24 point game, and the 9-point advantage has been quickly erased down to 1.
Yeah, I mean, that's a heck of a start by Par Hills. They came out and did exactly what they needed to do. And it's not like they're settling for jump shots. I mean, they converted those turnovers into layups, which is really what they've been doing all year. I mean, yes, they can shoot the 3 very well, and they do that. But they're truly at their best when they are getting up and down the floor, creating turnovers and capitalizing on those turnovers with easy baskets, which is something they weren't really able to do in that first half.
Right. Yeah, it was just a lid on the basket. They were able to, the press was creating turnovers, creating errant passes. And the difference here in this first 2.5 minutes or so, they're finishing, the baskets are going in, points are getting on the board, and already a blistering fast start here for the Parsippany Hills Vikings to start this third quarter.
We definitely didn't think that Vernon was going to run away and hide and win this game by 25 or 30 after that nice second quarter. So good call by Coach Healy. Look, we gotta gather our composure. We got to pass the ball better. We got to take care of the basketball. That's really, as another almost turnover here, that's really going to be the difference in the game.
Tatis's foot was on the sideline, and it'll be going back up to Vernon, but the press just creating chaos.
Yeah, and they're not looking to trap right away. So it's really after the second or third pass is when they really come after you.
Hey Coop gives it up to Morph Chess, able to break the press, break the timeline. He's quickly doubled. Finds Jurowitz. Jurowitz gives it up. And another turnover here. Nice outlet pass from Tatis to Cicatelli. He gets it to drop. And Parsippany Hills has a 26-25 lead. And Vernon turns it over right back to Parsippany Hills.
And Vernon out of sorts at the moment. Too many turnovers, as we've said now for the first 3 minutes of this third quarter, that are leading in as Par Hills is converting that to easy buckets almost every single time down the floor.
Cicatelli looking for somewhere to go with it.
What a turnaround here, huh, Jordan? It's crazy.
Absolutely. Quick quick dribble drive here by Washington. He'll head to the line for two. Parsippany Hills just came out, hit Vernon with a quick sucker punch in this third quarter, first 2.5 minutes, and Vernon, I don't believe, has put a basket on the board.
No, they have not, and Ben Jurowicz just picked up his third foul. Looks like Coach Healy is going to bring in Kevney Destani into the game. They're going to sit Ben down. They don't want to risk him getting a fourth here in the third quarter, which is why I'm thinking that maybe the scoreboard might have been wrong, because the moment that Ben picked up his second in the second quarter, they sat him down, and same with the third. So we'll have to, we'll find out soon enough.
Washington hits a pair, and it's a 28-25 lead.
Wow.
And it's a 12-0 run to start this third quarter here for Parsippany Hills. Nice outlet find, corner three, can't get it to go. Morph Chester, nice find there, unable to get it to go was Destani. And a pull-up pop for Parsippany Hills, and they're up 30-25, their largest lead of this contest. It's a go ahead, Brian.
Tatis really making his presence felt. You're talking about a kid that coming into the game was only 87 points away from 1,000 for his career, so he knows how to put the ball in the basket, and he's doing that more here in this third quarter.
A foul here on Nick Vico, I believe. His second. Team's first, and it'll be underneath here for Vernon.
So maybe it has something to do with this basket, because this is the basket that Par Hills couldn't score on in the first half, and now Vernon hasn't scored on it in the second half.
It's a 16-0 run to start the third quarter here for Parsippany Hills. Pull up pop, no good. Rebound Tatis. Washington pushes the pace. Cicatelli drives, hangs, got it, and one.
And once again, Jordan, as you were discussing, pushing that pace and then looking to attack the basket, and an excellent left-hand finish, possible and one.
Jurowitz checking back in with those 3 fouls.
Yeah, but that's smart, though, because Coach Healy feels this game is getting out of hand quickly, and he's got to have his best guys in the game, foul trouble or not.
Cicatelli unable to hit the free throw, but it's 32-25. Parsippany Hills up by 7, their largest lead of the game. Nice heads-up play there to save the possession by Haku. Bangs it off the Parsippany Hills defender.
And Vernon has to be more disciplined with their passes. That wasn't even overly intensely defended, and they're just kind of floating passes up in the air.
And pull the emergency lever and get it back to Fessel. Fessel here. This is the Haku. Jurowitz quickly doubled, back out to Haku. He got it, a big 3 for Vernon.
Boy, was it ever. And really the pattern has been if Jurowitz gets some touches, they're usually getting great shots out of that. So they got to do a little bit more of that in this third quarter.
Tatis can't finish. Vico can't either. Rebound by Morph Chess. Nice outlet pass to Haycoop, and he finishes on the other end. And just like that, a quick little 5-0 spurt for the Vikings. They're down by 2.
Nice quick burst by Vernon to get themselves right back into this game. Now this is what we expected, Jordan. We expected some up and down. We expected some runs for both teams, and now that's what we're seeing.
Cicatelli to the basket, can't get the roll. Rebounded by Jurowitz. He gives to Fessel. Back to Jurowitz. Karwoski, got it.
And once again, Ben Jurowitz is the key to the offense here today. As he gets that ball coming down the middle, defense collapse, and he finds his teammate wide open in the right-hand corner for a 3.
Jurowitz getting quality touches on the offensive end. It's 33-32 Vernon. Fessel gets in the lane and goes the other way to finish with the opposite with the right hand. Timeout, Parsippany Hills.
This is amazing because we're seeing literally the same pattern happen for both teams.
Yes.
You're seeing one team turn the ball over and go down, the other team that's going to capitalize, and we've seen like a layup drill in this third quarter for both teams. Parsippany Hills did it in the first handful of minutes, and now in the last 2 minutes, Vernon has countered with their own defense, with their own getting their hands in the passing lanes, and their own wide-open layups. So, as we talked about early on, whoever can cut down on their turnovers is probably going to come out of here with a win.
And we spoke to both coaches pregame. They both said we both see mirror images of each other, and Brian, you feel like this third quarter more of what the game we expected as being more of who these two teams are?
Yes.
You know, took Parsippany Hills quarter and a half or so, better parts of 2 quarters to get going. Sleepwalking, only 14 points. This is a team that averages over 65 per contest.
But they certainly do look like mirror images. I mean, they both can shoot the basketball very well. They're defending very well. They like to get up and down. They like to cause chaos. They like to get in the passing lanes and create steals and easy buckets. So, I mean, it is kind of like they're looking in the mirror here, which makes it a highly entertaining game, just as we expected.
So it's 35-32, 2:10 remaining here in the third quarter. An entertaining third quarter. Both teams coming out swinging, and Parsippany Hills, they only had 14 points in the first half. They've come out with 21 here in less than 5 minutes and 50 seconds.
Yeah, they're on track for a 25-plus point quarter, which is pretty impressive to say the least.
So Parsippany Hills ball to inbound. And this is Tatis.
Vernon's going to stay in their half-court man-to-man, Jordan, which they've done all game.
Cicatelli working on Haycoop. They feed it down to Washington. Tipped back out. Nick Vico. They're going to call it backcourt.
Excellent job by Jurowitz of not picking up another foul as Coach Healy is imploring him, please be smart with your body, because you are such a vital piece of this team. We need you to be in the game. Nice job there.
Alex Fessel with it here for the Vernon Vikings. Karwoski gives it up to Jurowitz. Back to Fessel. Off the Jurowitz screen, gets it to go.
Nice job refusing the screen, going in the opposite direction. That quick first step, one dribble layup. What a seesaw game here in this third quarter.
Vernon's back up 5, 1:24 to play, third quarter. Tatis, dribble drive, kicks it out to Cicatelli. Cicatelli to Washington. Washington to one, Fessel.
Nice.
Great feed, and Fessel picks up the foul. And the question is, how many is that on him?
Well, it clearly was not 4. So we were correct on that because he would have been out now. It still says 5, but it's not 5 because he'd be out of the game by now.
Right, so I think it's 4, like we said that.
I'm not sure if it's 3 or 4. I'm a little confused about it. But clearly he's not been in foul trouble this whole game because Coach Healy would have been coaching this game differently.
Right. Nick Vico missing on the first. Hits 1 of 2.
Here comes that press once again. Vernon should now know the soft spots at this point.
Morph Chess breaks the timeline here. Dribble drive, nice take to the basket. Can't get it to finish. And a foul here on Jurowitz here.
That's going to be a big one. They're definitely going to have to get him out of the game now.
And I believe that's his fourth. Scoreboard shows
Sure is.
Jerowitz's fourth, team's fifth, 58.9 remaining in the third quarter.
And now, of course, remember, with these new rules, 5 fouls, they reset every quarter. So now at 5 fouls in the quarter, they're going to be shooting 2. If you remember out there's no more 1-and-1s in the high school game. That has been eliminated. So that's why they're going to the line here for 2 with only 5 fouls. But again, a minute from now, start fourth quarter, the fouls will reset back to 0. The team fouls, of course.
Dustin Wagner, the sophomore, will check in for Jerowitz as he heads to the bench with 4 for this final 58.9 as Nick Vico hits 1 of 2 to cut the lead to 37-34.
And Jerowitz has been a huge key for them offensively.
Fessel, nice find. Haycoop couldn't finish, and here comes Parsippany Hills pushing. They could tie or cut it to 1. Cicatelli able to finish. Nice strong take, and it's 37-36 with 36 seconds remaining in the third quarter.
Excellent body control on that finish from Cicatelli.
Haycoop to Morph Chess. He'll fire a 3, short. Rebounded by Moore, and another foul on Vernon. Will head down the other way to shoot 2, and I believe it's going to go against the sophomore, Dustin Wagner.
And Coach Healy is understandably upset because over the last, 2 or 3 possessions now, these are just silly fouls in the backcourt that are, 75 feet from the basket,
right,
that are not doing anything to help them out. And now they're just sending them to the line for freebies. And again, it's 2. It's not you hit the first, the front end. You got to make you get another chance at the second. You got 2 free throws no matter what.
The Moore rattles home the second. He hits them both. Parsippany Hills with a 38-37 lead, 25 seconds remaining. Taken away. Fessel out his pocket, picked. And able to finish is Simeon Washington. And it's 40-37, 13 seconds remaining. Big possession here for Vernon. Don't want to give up a 2 the other way. Karwoski, kick ball. Parsippany Hills saying it deflected off the hands. The official said it was a kick ball. It'll be Vernon underneath with 3.8 remaining.
Watch Alex coming back to the corner.
Nice defense, and Washington. Which way is it going to go?
I think one ref pointed one way and one ref pointed the other, so they looked at each other, and
it's going to stay here with Vernon with 0.4 of a second on the timer. Nice defense there by Washington, getting in the passing lane. 0.4 of a second. Fessel will fire it up, draw nothing but air, and that'll bring the third quarter to a close. Parsippany Hills exploding in that third quarter for 26 points.
Wow.
To 40-37 lead, heading into the fourth quarter. We'll step aside. We'll come back. Fourth quarter coming up right after this. Welcome back here to Vernon Township High School. I'm Jordan Catelli here with Brian Thomas, courtside. 40-37, Parsippany Hills leads. Start of the fourth quarter, Vernon to inbound. It's going to be Alex Fessel getting it in. Aiden Karwoski working on Washington. Gives it up to Haycoop. Jurowitz remains on the bench here for the start of the fourth quarter. Morph Chess, Haycoop, Karwoski, Jurowitz, and Wagner, the 5 on the floor for the Vernon Vikings.
And the amount of time that Jurowitz spends on the bench will be strictly determined by the score of this game.
Absolutely.
If Vernon hangs around, that gives Coach Hilly the luxury to keep him on the bench a little bit longer. If Par Hills extends this lead at all, then you gotta hit the panic button and get him back in the game.
Tatis with the rebound here. It's Washington. Good ball moving by the Vikings. Dribble drive, Moore. Got it.
Nice little floater from Moore there. That's an excellent touch.
42-37, 7 minutes remaining, fourth quarter.
And Vernon's got to look down the floor. They're looking too much side to side, and that's where it's going to be open. That's an excellent job by Demir, because what's happening, Jordan, is Par Hills literally has 4 guys on this side of half court, and they only have 1 back. And Vernon's getting 2 guys coming all the way back, and they're kind of getting stuck in the minutia of all these guys here on the backcourt side of half court, and they're forgetting to look up the floor.
And here comes Jurowitz back in. Wagner will head to the bench with 6:55 remaining in the fourth quarter.
Coach Healy trusting his senior center to be smart, make sure he doesn't pick up a silly one as a 5th foul.
So Morph Chess at the line to convert, make a 3-point play.
And look, if Jurowitz was maybe a sophomore, I bet he'd still be on the bench. But because he's a senior, because they have that trust factor, that's why he's back into the game.
42-40, Parsippany Hills, a 2-point advantage. Cicatelli to Moore. Washington will let it fly from the wing. No good. Last touch, which number 11 to come off of, and they're going to say last touch off Julio Tatis, and it'll go back to Vernon.
Which number 11 and which Viking, since we have the battle of the Vikings here today.
Certainly are in Viking country.
Yeah.
Morph Chess, corner 3 from Karwoski, no good. Jurowitz with a big rebound and a foul, I believe, against Parsippany Hills.
Excellent box out by Jurowitz, using that big, strong body. And that's what's something that a lot of kids don't do today, is they'll go after the ball first. If you could box out your guy first and then go after the ball, you have a much better chance of getting that rebound.
Try to feed it inside the Jurowitz. They do. He gives it up to Fessel. Fessel guarded closely by Tatis. Get it down to Jurowitz, working on the low block against Moore. Kicks it out to Karwoski. Karwoski's pass finds its way to Moore somehow through the traffic.
If you get a chance, make sure you're watching both coaches as well. They are entertaining to watch. They both want to win this game so badly. Great
take by Morph Chess to finish with the right hand and knotted at 42. 5:50 remaining, fourth quarter. Cicatelli here with working against Haycoop. Feed it down to Jones, or Tatis, pardon me. This is Moore. Pull up pop off the back iron. Morph Chess with the rebound. And Vernon will look to push. Jurowitz tried to feed it to someone in the corner. No one home, and it's going back to Parsippany Hills.
And we've said this now for a long while. I think whichever team minimizes their turnovers in this last 5:30 is going to walk out of here with a W.
This is playing more of the game that we expected.
Sure.
Talking pregame and leading up to this. 42 a pop, 5:20 remaining. Cicatelli working on Jurowitz, maybe trying to draw his 5th. This is Washington against Morph Chess. Morph Chess wins that one, and the loose ball is picked up by Karwoski. Morph Chess, pass deflected, finds its way to Jurowitz. Jurowitz, pull up, pop, got it.
Beautiful Euro. Par Hills tried to sneak in and draw a charge there. Ben saw it, stepped right around him for a little floater in the lane. Smart move by Ben Jurowitz.
44-42, Vernon leads. Under 5 to play. Tatis working against Jurowitz. Tatis can't finish. Jurowitz had to pull up, couldn't pick up his 5th. And a foul here against Parsippany Hills. They're going to get Joey Cicatelli, the senior, going after the loose ball. And Parsippany Hills' third team foul of this fourth quarter.
The one thing you know is that neither team's going to get rattled. You have a lot of upperclassmen on both teams that have played a lot of basketball.
Jurowitz goes up strong and gets it to go.
He's been the X factor, hasn't he?
A lot of, Brian, I said it to you before, in between quarters, he makes a lot of plays off the ball. He would be a big loss for this Vernon offense.
Yeah, he's got to continue to be smart on the defensive end.
Tatis working down low, and I think he drew the foul against Karwoski, the junior.
So impressed with Tatis. I mean, there's not often you see smaller guards that want to post up, and he's done it a number of times tonight because he is a tank.
Going right down the low block.
He is a strong kid, and he gets that ball, and literally he's just doing one dribble, a drop step, and using his body and trying to get up and get towards the basket. So he missed that free throw, but man, he's an impressive player.
So Andrew Herr checking in for Nick Vico. Tatis hits 1 of 2.
Vernon student section came representing here on a Saturday afternoon. Gotta love it.
Good atmosphere at Vernon Township High School for a Saturday afternoon tip. Could have been a kick ball on Cicatelli. We play on. Tatis denied at the rim. Loose ball staying here with Parsippany Hills.
Great defense by Fessel, getting up and over Tatis for that block. This is the controlled chaos we expected.
So it'll be Parsippany Hills ball underneath. Braylon Moore to inbound. Gets it into her. Fessel gets his hands on it. He gets it back from Jurowitz, and he's able to finish.
And there's those quick hands and anticipation that we spoke about at the top with Alex Fessel getting in those passing lanes.
48-43, 3:40 to play. It's a 5-point Vernon Vikings lead. Tatis drives, kicks. Washington can't hit. Loose ball rebound out to Vernon. Morph chest in transition. He's got it. He finishes with the right hand flush.
What a great pass looking up the floor, and Demir throwing it down with the hammer.
And a timeout by Mike Herzenberg of Parsippany Hills, and Vernon has a 7-point lead with 3:22 to play here in the fourth quarter.
Excellent stretch by Vernon, once again being created by their defense. We've seen that from both teams tonight. If they get stops, they've been able to look up the floor, and this time you got to give credit to, I believe it was Alex Fessel, getting that ball up the floor right away to a wide open Demir Morph chest. And boy, there was no doubt about that. I mean, that thing came down. I felt like the whole ceiling was coming down. That's an excellent job by Vernon, and of course a great timeout call by Mike Herzenberg. 7 points with the way they can score is not a lot of points, but they're going to have to make sure that they're getting great shots and they're finding a way to get some stops on the defensive end.
Yeah, Brian, it's been defense leading the offense for both teams thus far this afternoon. And Vernon right there in that last possession. Fessel with the getting his hands on the loose ball and a great outlet pass to Morph Chess, and the transition baskets, they've been high percentage baskets, but doesn't mean they've always been able to fall this afternoon.
That's right. But you could see Demir's eyes light up right when he was really right when the ball was in the air, because he knew that nobody else was behind him, and if he just took a dribble or two, he was going to be able to flush it, which he did.
So Parsippany Hills will have it here coming out of the timeout.
Long way to go.
This is Cicatelli with it. Down by 7. Moore got it and won.
As we said, long way to go with this upperclassman-laden team for Par Hills. They're not going to go away without a fight, and he's done a really nice job more tonight of attacking the basket and getting up with that left hand. I mean, he is a righty, as you can see here, but he's looked to finish with that left hand 5 or 6 times tonight. And
he gets the 3-point play, hits the free throw, and it's a 50-46 contest. Fessel directing traffic. Morph chess.
Now every possession becomes maximized.
Hey, Coop. They work it around. Morph chess here. Let's see if Vernon maybe takes some air out of the ball. Under 3 to play.
My guess is they will not, because they are just looking to try to score the basketball.
Morph chess draws the foul, and he'll head to the line for a pair.
Free throws becoming a major difference in this game as well. We're not yet at the team fouls for 5. You got You got Par Hills with 4, you got Vernon with 2, but each team attacking the basket. Turnovers, free throws down the stretch of a game are always important.
Morph Chess off on the first. He'll get one more. That last personal foul charged to the junior Andrew Herr, his second, team's 4th. And Morph Chess gets 1 of 2. Let's see what Tatis does here. He's been loving to attack it down low, trying to get Jurowitz to get his 5th. Cicatelli with it at the point. Washington to Herr, back to Tatis. Tatis off the Herr screen, gives it to Washington. And another turnover caused by this Vernon defense. Morph Chess to Fessel, finishes with the right off the window.
Another excellent defensive possession by the Vernon Vikings, leading to another wide open layup. We've seen that from both teams numerous times here this afternoon.
It's a 7-point margin with 2:05 to play, and it's going back to the Vernon Vikings. And Mike Jurowitz, see him on the sideline trying to implore instruction and from his defense here. Wide open outlet pass, they break the press. Dylan Haycoop finishes off the window. It's a 9-point lead.
So this is what we were talking about earlier in the fourth quarter, is that they're loading up that backcourt. So if you look up, you're going to be able to have a layup, and they've gotten that 2 or 3 times here since.
Tatis draws the contact. And it's going to be a foul on...
Looks like it's on Alex Fessel, and they're still putting up 5. But
is that his 4th or 5th?
It looks like it's going to be his 4th because he'd already be out of the game. So although Coach Cody Hilbert just put up a 3 sign, so maybe it's just his 3rd. But regardless, he does not have 5.
Okay. So Tatis hits the first. And a substitution coming in. Number 10, Jashad Lattimore taking over for Andrew Herr. So some more size coming in here for the Vikings.
And now Par Hills, even on a miss, they're going to stay up.
Jurowitz with a big board there. 1:40 to play. Quick trap. Vernon able to get it over, and it's Morph Chess here. He's doubled, gives it to Fessel. Calling for timeout and getting it.
Smart. He saw
is Connor Healy.
Coach Healy saw Alex Fessel all the way backed up to the half-court line. He saw 2 Parsippany Hills players looking to attack him right away. So smart to just, hey, let's reset. Let's get an out-of-bounds play. Let's make sure we get the ball in. So the biggest things for them right now is, yeah, you're still looking to score, but you don't have to score quickly at all. You don't have to take a bad shot. You got to make sure you're doing nothing but taking an excellent shot and making sure that Par Hills comes to you, because the next time that they foul, which they're going to have to do, you're going to be on the line for 2. So you got to keep it away from the half-court line. You got to keep it away from the sideline, because effectively that adds just another defender that you have to deal with. Right. So you got to have, just like they've done a lot better in this fourth quarter, passing angles got to be good. The pace of your passes has to be correct and strong, and you got to make sure you're making great decisions here.
So it'll be Vernon with the inbound right in front of their own bench. It'll be Aiden Karwoski to inbound. 1:29 to play. Vernon leads 55-47.
And of course, if you're Par Hills, you got to look to be attacking and aggressive. You don't need to necessarily foul.
Jurowitz
but,
with a nice finish.
That's not going to help.
And they're up 10 with 1:18 to play. And Washington drives and draws the contact, and he'll head to the line for a pair. And that's the last thing you want to do if you're Vernon.
Nice job, Par Hills, not just settling for 3s right now. They're looking to continue to attack the basket, which has led them getting on the free throw line a number of different times in these last 3 minutes.
Washington hits the first. Knocks them both down. Cuts the lead to 8. Fessel, outlet pass to Haycoop. Haycoop to Jurowitz. Back to Haycoop and a foul. And that's the team's 5th. So Vernon will be shooting the rest of the way.
And you can see Jordan, so it took him a while to figure it out, but now It's almost like they're realizing, hey, if we get the ball up the floor faster instead of being bogged down so much in the backcourt.
The second or third passes up court instead of laterally.
Instead of east to west, they're going north and south, and now they're able to find a little more success that way. And, of course, at this point, Par Hills has to continue doing what they're doing to try to create some steals in the backcourt. So, you know, they're really out of options. They got to continue to stay up.
Haycoop hits them both, and it's a 10-point margin here in favor of the Vernon Vikings. 1 minute to play here, fourth quarter. Losing it on the way up is Lattimore. Outlet pass to Fessel, and a foul on 11, and I believe it's going to go against Fessel.
Yep, looks that way. So Tatis is going to go back to the foul line. I would imagine now that this is Alex's fourth foul, because, again, they're not looking to get him out of the game.
Right. Tatis hits the first.
Still a long way to go here. Still got almost a minute left. And the way Parsippany can shoot and score the basketball and defend, I wouldn't count him out quite yet.
56.4 showing. Morph chess here. Double. Timeout, Connor Healy.
Smart timeout. And again, Vernon's got to do a better job of keeping the ball away from the sideline, and that middle is the soft spot of that zone press. So they got to get somebody to the middle right away and not rest on their laurels here and be like, oh, this game is over. No, it's 50 seconds.
Right.
It's only an 8-point game.
A turnover and a basket, and you get a two-possession game.
And there you go. So they got to make sure that they're being a little smarter, a little more disciplined, and finding that open pass, which typically is in the middle.
So if you're Mike Herzenberg, what are you drawing up defensively?
Well, I mean, I think you're going to continue to do what you've been doing the entire game, because it certainly led to a lot of your success here this afternoon. And then, of course, once it comes over half court and Vernon tries to settle in, you have to come and trap, because you always try to preach, hey, let's go. If we have to foul, go for the steal first. Don't just blatantly foul, because then maybe the ref calls an intentional foul, and then the game is, you know, basically effectively over. So if you can trap around that half court line and that sideline and add another defender, and then get a quick steal, maybe, hey, look, maybe you did foul and maybe the ref missed it. And next thing you know, you got a wide open layup. So always go for the steal first, I think, is what he's probably preaching to them.
So 50.5 showing left here in the fourth quarter. 59-51 our score. So it'll be Aiden Karwoski to inbound for Vernon. Gets it into Morph Chess. Bodies hit the deck here. Morph Chess pushing ahead. Jurowitz doubles.
The trap.
Morph Chess nearly had it picked away by Lattimore, but this one it's Washington. He finishes. Lattimore can't get the block. Clock does not stop after a made basket. Now it does. 59-53, 35 seconds to play. Fessel gets it in. Quick double. And a foul before the loose ball. It's going to be a foul on Tatis.
Par Hills fans understandably not happy, because they need everything to go right for them right now. But now, with Par Hills over that foul limit with 5+, Dylan Haycoop will be at the line for 2. So now this is where this rule gets interesting, Jordan, because normally he'd be shooting a 1-on-1 right now.
Correct.
And there'd be all kinds of added pressure, because you got to make the first one, which he did anyway, so give him credit. But now you can kind of relax a little more on that first shot, because you know you have a second one coming. It just takes away a little bit of extra pressure.
He goes 2-2 at the line, does Haycoop. Tatis has got to make something happen here for Parsippany Hills. Cicatelli up and under with the right, can't get it to go. Jurowitz with the rebound, and he's fouled. And we'll go back and shoot 2 here on the other end.
At this point, you figure if Vernon hits their free throws, they're going to walk out of here with a win. But, man, you got to give a lot of credit to Par Hills. We certainly didn't expect them to roll over. I mean, the first half, as we mentioned, you know, down big, fairly big at half, and then came back within 4 minutes. They were back tied and even winning. And then, of course, going down here in the last couple minutes, you knew they weren't going to roll over and die. You know, they're going to keep fighting. Their coach is going to keep fighting. This is a good, solid Parsippany Hills team that, you know, I think can make some serious noise in the Morris County tournament. Just their style of play, the way they can get hot, the way they can shoot the basketball. I wouldn't be surprised for them to make a deep run, not only there, but into states as well.
No, absolutely. I mean, this team, it was 14. They had 14 on the board at halftime. They came out and put up 26 in the third quarter.
Yeah.
To go up double digits in the third quarter, coming into the fourth. And credit to Connor Healy, too, and Vernon. I mean, they came out. They saw Parsippany Hills. They hit them with a couple of quick sucker punches, but
Sure
they
did.
righted the ship, took a timeout, kept everybody composed. Hey, guys, listen, we just got to keep doing our thing. And they figured out the key to that full court press break, Brian. The first or second couple of passes, going east and west,
right,
and then north and south. I mean, once you get it, there's nobody underneath past the
yeah, and Vernon was having
below the free throw line in the front court.
Yeah, they were having such a hard time just getting the ball, sometimes even over the half court line. So, to be able to look up the floor is sometimes difficult when you have all those athletes standing right in front of you.
And credit to this man at the line, Ben Jarowitz. He's played the majority of the second half, certainly all of the fourth quarter, with 4 fouls.
Yeah.
And the big man hits 2 of 2, and it's now a 9-point advantage for Vernon. Tatis, they got to go. Moore, no good. Rebound by Morph Chess, and it's going to go back up to Vernon with 10.8.
Thanks once again to both Par Hills and Vernon for sponsoring this game. This game lived up to exactly what we thought it would be. And boy, this was an exciting, entertaining game.
Alex Fessel. Vernon will break the press for what would appear to be the final time this afternoon, and Vernon will improve to 8-5 on the season. For Parsippany Hills, their 2-game winning streak comes to an end. They'll fall to 10-5. Vernon, their next game, they'll be in action Monday at Newton. They beat Newton. They're going for the season sweep. And for Parsippany Hills, they will head to Hanover Park on Monday, looking to take over, beat the Hanover Park Hornets, and they're looking to get their season sweep. Brian, we'll step aside. We'll come back. Brian Thomas will have interviews with the winning coach and players right after this.
All right. We are back. Talking here with Ben Jarowitz. Congratulations on an excellent game. We were talking on air how you made your presence felt on both ends of the floor, and almost every time you got a touch on the offensive end, you ended up making a play, whether it was a basket for yourself or whether it was a kind of drive and kick to somebody else. Just tell us about what your mindset was coming into this game today.
Honestly, my mindset was just to win. That is literally, I want to put everything forward and put all my effort into every game we play. I just want to get everyone involved. We just need to play as a family, a team, and whether that's just getting every single rebound, getting a pass to Aiden in the corner, Alex in the corner, whatever we could do to just win is what I want to do and what my mindset is every game, and hopefully we'll win us HWS in the finals and everything else moving forward.
Awesome. Congratulations. Alex, come on over here, buddy. So today you had your hands full with Mr. Tatis. I mean, you talk about a guy who was quick, who was powerful, who was strong. Just tell us what it was like to defend him and explain to us what you guys found in that fourth quarter to allow you to extend that lead and really take over the game.
Well, throughout the whole game, we turned over the ball way too much. So we had to limit turnovers. We had to get to the basket because we weren't shooting too well. And defensively, we had to stop fouling. Like we had a lot of calls, questionable calls, but a lot of calls. I had to step back a little bit. He's really quick, and yeah.
Excellent job. Coach, come on over here. Congratulations on a great win.
Thank you.
You talked before the game about how these teams are almost mirror images of one another, and we saw that tonight.
Absolutely.
I mean, you guys took the lead early. They came back, and it was like whoever turned the ball over less was going to come out here winning the game. There was a lot of wide open layups because of that defense.
Right.
Talk about the difference between that first half and that second half.
Right. I mean, first off, so much credit to Coach Herzenberg and the entire program over there. They're fantastic, some incredible athletes, incredible players. We knew this was going to be one of our toughest tests of the entire season. And with our defense in that first half, holding them to 14 points, that was a miracle. They just put up 78 2 nights ago. And we knew that they were going to come out firing and that, their full court pressure was going to get to us at times. And like Alex said, limiting turnovers was the number one thing for us to put an emphasis on. And if we just took care of it a little bit more, I think we would have been a little more comfortable in that third and fourth quarter. But, some growing pains. We got, a couple young athletes out there, and, we're still only January 20th. We have a long way to go. But I'm very proud of them. We gave up that lead in the third. When a lot of times teams could crumble in that type of moment, we, a couple timeouts, we rallied the troops a little bit, took some deep breaths and just had to settle ourselves down a little bit and just trust what we do on a daily basis. And just take care of that basketball. That's what it all came down to today.
So going into now the most important time of the year with the HWS coming up, with states coming up, how do you feel like, especially a big win against a really good Morris County team, how do you feel like this sets you guys up going forward to all these important games?
Oh, absolutely. Especially in terms of PowerPoints, this is probably going to be one of, if not the biggest. Come state tournament time, if you can get a home game or 2 home games, that's going to go a long way. If you can, try to get on your home court rather than go into a hostile environment, play in front of big crowds, where we love that. We've done it almost the entire season so far, 13 out of our first 15 scrimmages and games on the road. But we kind of did that on purpose, and we wanted to up our schedule a little bit so we were more prepared for what we're about to get ourselves into with the HWS tournament, with states just a month away. And just overall, I'm just super, super proud of these guys for just sticking with it. And despite 1,000,001 mistakes throughout the game, we just found a way. We found a way. So I'm proud of them for that.
Very good, guys. Congratulations. That was a highly entertaining game. You guys walked out of here with a win. Thanks for checking it out. Make sure you check out the next broadcast on BT Broadcasting YouTube channel. We'll see you guys next time.
Thank you. Appreciate it, man. Thank you so much.